I'm going through the most difficult phase of my life, which is why I thought that it's very important to create this video. Not for the thousands of people who will say, hey, he's selling spirituality again. But for the lakhs of people who've watched this podcast over the years and understand what we're actually trying to do through this show. Selling spirituality has literally never been the goal. The goal has been fulfilling my own curiosity and sharing it with you guys, because my purpose is to take people along with me on my own journey. And I'm definitely a flawed human being. I kind of think that one of those major flaws was highlighted a lot this year. I call that flaw a clash between my own inner selves. There is this version of me that's trying to grow spiritually, trying to think like a sage, trying to absorb all of the best personalities that I meet on my podcast. And then there's an idiot as well. There's a 32-year-old child who's trying to move forward in life, who's very open to making mistakes. And I've kept that side of me alive because I've learned that as an artist, as a content creator, you've got to keep the child in you alive. But if I had to pick between the two, I would pick that first one, because that's what I'm trying to become in life. And you become a personality when you believe on the inside that you're already that personality right now. I've suffered so much this year. Like, I cannot even tell all of you, and I'm just talking to my own OG community here. I can't tell all of you everything that I've been through this year. One tiny anecdote is that I had one of my life's really difficult moments, a very bad breakup, 10 days before the whole controversy happened, and then the controversy happened. I didn't even have time to process like heartbreak, man. Big opportunities went away. In terms of my business career, which began in year one in 2015 when I was a fitness trainer, I've always seen money being in the green zone, profits, for 10 years. I've worked that way. I've designed things that way. But I was forced to see reds. And you know how they say that you save for a rainy day? I've seen a rainy 6 months. I've had to dip into my savings for 4 of those 6 months. It's not like I've not made enough money in life. If I want, I can shut shop, I can retire tomorrow and just focus on my own spiritual journey, just travel for the rest of my life. But this story is not over. I'm not done taking people along with me. I'm also having a lot of fun creating content. I can speak for hours about everything that happened in that phase. But I'm just here to share some highlights about my own journey. As many of you know, I'm a Kal Bhairav Bhakt, and they say that when you pray to Bhairav, you're taught detachment. You're taught to face your biggest fears and then realize that, hey, this wasn't that big a fear after all. That's been one of the most redeeming experiences of this whole phase. I definitely feel I had this fear of being ridiculed publicly, and it felt bad for that first week. And then I just understood that it's Maya playing its game. I do believe that this was predestined. That's the truth. So much happened that this can't be just a random coincidence, or it can't be down to like one mistake. There was a lot of things that needed to change. And that change was forced upon me, and I'm glad at this point. But it's taken me 6 months, a documentary shoot in Banaras, multiple podcasts, a visit to Kamakhya Devi. So much hustle to even come to this realization. And my career couldn't be in a more difficult place than it's in right now. And yet again, I turned to religion. I turned to Sanatan Dharma. Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. You're only responsible for your effort. You're not responsible for the fruits that your efforts bring you. There were so many moments over the course of the preceding 2 to 3 years before the controversy, where I was just sitting in my place like, how is this happening? How am I getting these opportunities? How is all this good stuff happening in my life so automatically? Therefore, when the bad stuff happened, Of course, it felt terrible. I realized what I was losing. Felt bad seeing Kohli unfollow. Felt bad seeing so many celebrities unfollow. And then I switched away from the human version of all this, and I was kind of forced to enter metaphysical thought. All of this is a simulation. You've just got to care about your process. You know, when I began my career, I just wanted to open 3 gyms, and that was my ultimate goal back in 2015. And then I realized that I have really big potential, so I might as well chase that potential. That dream of 3 gyms was transformed into a dream where I proudly told people in year 1 and year 2 that I just want 7 million subscribers in total, and then I'll quit YouTube, because 7 million seems so far. Sitting on like 25 million cumulative subscribers right now. And of course, we've lost so many subscribers and followers, but I personally believe that all of the people that went away, I think they'll come back. And usually when you are considered cool, Samaj, society ends up clapping for you without truly understanding your essence. There's a lot of people who will just clap for you because it's cool to clap for you. And there'll be people who will boo you because it's cool to boo you. Metaphysical reality. I'm focused on process right now. We've started all these documentaries. It's kind of catching steam. We're getting better at our process. We're learning about what the audiences want. But truly, I'm trying to rebuild my content career. In terms of just material life, I probably have gone back at least a couple of years. Probably 5. I would like to believe it's a couple of years. But in terms of the spiritual journey, I definitely feel a karmic cleanse has happened. I've suffered immensely, man. Gone for therapy. It took me some time to start crying about all this. Probably only happened in May. It began happening in May, and it's reached a point where every day when I'm sitting for my meditation, when I'm sitting for my prayer ritual, I just submit all my sadness. And while I submit it, there's tears that are submitted as well, but it's not from a place where I'm saying this to need your pity. I actually hate that. That's the one part of my brain that's very human and very alive. One of my big red flags in anyone is when I see people pitying themselves, and I don't want to be that person. I don't think I'm that person in the first place. I'd never pity myself. But what I will do is that all this excess anxiety and emotion, I will transfer and I'll place at the feet of the divine. All that excess anxiety, all those excess emotions have been fueled into my sadhana, into my practice. And I'm just very happy going to sleep happy every day. I don't wake up happy every day even now. Almost every day in the morning, my first thought is, oh wow, I'm living through this chapter of my life where one mistake caused all this loss. And then I realized that just like the victories and the awards, this loss was written for me in the first place. It's made me closer to Bhairav. And more importantly, for whatever reason, I've spoken about this in a few episodes, but I genuinely believe that it's brought me closer to the divine feminine as well. I feel I've earned my right to be connected to the divine feminine much more deeply after this phase because of all the karmic cleansing. We had hosted Rajarshi Nandi early on. I think the reboot episode had a moment where he said that Kali likes fighters. And I guess I'm being pushed to the ground constantly, almost every week. Something or the other is going wrong at work. Something or the other is collapsing. Things that work like that are not working. And it's okay. It's Kali testing me. She's pushing me to the ground. Bhairav's made me fearless. I think Kali will allow me to understand her in the coming 1 year. There's this one story in the autobiography of a yogi, the book that I point everyone towards in order to begin their spiritual journeys, where the protagonist, Yoganand Paramhans, is lost and he doesn't have any money in his wallet. He's with a friend of his. And throughout that day of being lost, he has complete faith that they'll find food if they get hungry, and they'll find money if they actually end up needing money through that day. And that's exactly what happens. of the million lessons in that book, this was one of the core lessons that I took away, that if your intentions are clean and you know who you are and your family and friends know who you are, and underneath all of that, you have this soil called blind faith, things fall into place. There's been so much providence in my life before the controversy where I really felt like the divine was just blessing me. Sometimes when I felt unworthy of those blessings. So I'm 100% sure that the best times are yet to come. Can I do anything else other than feeling optimistic? I think optimism is what built my career in the first place. But more importantly, I think that this phase has taught me that optimism and pessimism are parts of Maya as well. Just like the cheers, just like the booze. I won't lie, there's definitely been a very, very loud part of my heart that's wanted to leave all of this stuff and seriously stop creating content for good. But I'm not going to do that because there's lots of work to be done. And this industry, this career generates a lot of money, a lot of power. And I need both money and power in the long term to fulfill the visions I have related to social work, related to the temple reconstructions that I want to do. So the mission isn't complete. We've just started. I am positive. I have blind faith. And I'm burning right now. It's been too difficult. But that's okay. I'm fine with it. I'm going to let my work speak. I'm going to stick to doing the kind of content that I really want. Lots more spiritual content, which I've wanted to do for years now. So I just want you guys to interact a lot with us in the comment section, man. All of you guys have built out this channel in the long term. Just give us guidance. We'll be able to create the content that you end up enjoying. See the kind of content we've created recently. We've really put our heart and souls into it. We're adding that spiritual touch again. I just didn't have the physical capacity to do spiritual content again. I was just so unsure. I got filled with like so much self-doubt in this phase, and I've washed it off over the last 6 months. Because Kali's getting closer to me and she's allowing me to understand her. So I feel a certain sense of bounce, a certain sense of warrior-like force. And for me, being a warrior is just creating the best possible videos and documentaries for you guys. Thanks for sticking around. I feel positive about this whole phase now. Man, I know that the media is going to pick up snippets of this and then turn it into headlines which project me as what I'm not. That's the truth of Sansarik Jeevan. Societal truth that you hear actors speak about, you hear athletes speak about. I guess content creation has gotten that big. But that's okay. Long term, things are going to be all right. Things are going to be better than all right. Because in the now, I'm giving it my 100%. And things are already all right because I'm enjoying this phase of content creation. It's testing me so much. It's challenging me on every level. But we pray to Kali and we live for the challenges. Thank you. Keep supporting us.